Today, we are talking about 5 ways Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice teaches you how to be respected without being loud. Before getting into the 5 ways, I want to be clear about where I'm coming from. I'm not talking at you from a distance. I am this person too, and I've spent my life around men like this. Quiet men, thoughtful men, men who care deeply and try hard, but still get misread. I've seen the same pattern over and over again. Good men with values who end up overlooked or misunderstood, not because you are doing something wrong on purpose, but because no one ever showed you how to close the gap between who you are inside and how you come across. That's why this channel exists. I didn't invent a solution, I studied it. I paid attention to the men, fictional and real, who figured this out long before confidence became loud and performative. One of the clearest examples is Mr. Darcy, the male lead of Pride and Prejudice. Darcy doesn't become respected by changing who he is. He becomes respected by learning how to show up differently over time. That's what we are going to break down. The first way Mr. Darcy teaches you how to be respected without being loud is by becoming strong through grounded presence instead of guarded distance. Early in the story, Darcy enters social spaces already braced for rejection. At the first ball, he stands apart, observes from the edges, avoids engagement because he believes distance will protect him. Instead, people read his silence as judgment and arrogance. Later, when Elizabeth visits Pemberley, where he lives, Darcy has clearly worked on this. He still speaks little, but he no longer hides. He stands when people enter. He greets them directly. He stays present until conversations actually end instead of fading out. That change is subtle but powerful, and it shifts how people feel around him. For you, this starts before you even arrive somewhere. You decide that your job is not to impress or prove yourself, but to be readable. During interaction, you make eye contact and say something simple like, "Hey, good to see you." And then you stop. You don't add filler. You don't overperform. You let your calm presence carry the moment. Before you leave, you close it cleanly with, "It was good talking with you." Now, if you do all of that and the other person doesn't warm up or nothing obvious happens, that doesn't mean you failed. Darcy didn't win respect because every interaction went well. He won it because people consistently experienced him as steady. Afterward, you say to yourself, that interaction is complete. I showed up the way that I intended. Then you move on instead of replaying it. Over time, that steadiness becomes your reputation. The same way Darcy's presence at Pemberley slowly rewrites how others see him. Way number 2, Mr. Darcy teaches you how to be respected without being loud is by refusing to chase approval when things don't go your way. After Elizabeth rejects Darcy harshly, he doesn't argue his case in the moment or try to fix how she sees him emotionally. He steps away, reflects, and later writes one letter that is clear, honest, and restrained. Importantly, he sends it once and he does not follow it up. That restraint restores his dignity. He stops trying to control Elizabeth's reaction and focuses on behaving in a way he can stand behind. In your life, this starts before interactions by letting go of the idea that you need immediate reassurance. During conversations, especially when you feel awkward or quiet, you say one honest line like, "I tend to be quiet at first, but I'm enjoying it." And then you let it land. You don't keep explaining. Afterward, you don't text repeatedly to make sure that everything is okay. If you follow up, you wait a day and keep it simple. "Nice talking with you yesterday." And if there's no response, you don't spiral. Darcy didn't write his second letter when Elizabeth didn't immediately change her mind. He let time and consistency speak. Your parallel is learning to tolerate space without interpreting it as rejection. You remind yourself, "I didn't chase, I acted with self-respect." That's how approval stops being something you beg for and starts being something people offer. Way number 3, Mr. Darcy teaches you how to be respected without being loud is by learning how to take feedback without collapsing or becoming defensive. When Elizabeth tells Darcy that he has been rude, proud, and dismissive, it wounds him deeply. Austen makes it clear that this moment shakes him, but Darcy doesn't lash out or withdraw permanently. He reflects privately, accepts the truth in her words, and then changes his behavior quietly. When Elizabeth later encounters him again, She notices that he is more considerate, more attentive, and less dismissive. That change is behavioral, not performative. For you, this begins before interactions by remembering that feedback is information, not a verdict on your worth. During the moment, if someone challenges you or seems disappointed, you say, "Thank you for telling me," or "I appreciate your honesty." And then stop. Afterward, when your mind wants to replay the moment and turn it into shame, you interrupt that by saying, "I received information. I'm not on trial here." Then you ask one specific question: what is one small thing I can adjust next time? Darcy didn't try to become charming overnight. He started listening more carefully and treating people with more visible respect. Your parallel might be remembering to greet someone by name next time, or staying present instead of checking out mentally. Even if the outcome doesn't change immediately, the adjustment compounds over time. Way number 4, Mr. Darcy teaches you how to be respected without being loud is by becoming more visible without becoming fake. Darcy never turns witty or smooth. What changes is that he allows himself to be seen. At Pemberley, he no longer retreats into the background or avoids eye contact. He stands closer, listens without scanning for an exit, and lets his intention show. Elizabeth begins to trust him because she can finally read him. In your life, this starts by deciding that visibility does not require performance. During conversations, you face the first person fully, you hold eye contact for a full sentence, and speak at a pace that feels grounded instead of rushed. When the interaction ends, you say, "It was good to meet you," or "Good to see you," and then you leave cleanly instead of lingering awkwardly. Afterwards, you do not analyze your tone or posture. You tell yourself, "I was present. That is enough." Darcy didn't win Elizabeth by dazzling her. He earned trust by being consistently legible. Your parallel is learning to let people actually experience you instead of hiding behind silence or self-criticism. Way number 5, Mr. Darcy teaches you how to be respected without being loud is by building connection through consistency rather than performance. Darcy helps Elizabeth's family quietly without announcing it or seeking praise. Elizabeth only learns about his actions later, and that delay is what makes them meaningful. Trust grows through patterns, not highlights. For you, this begins before interactions by releasing the belief that one conversation has to change everything. During interactions, you show up steady instead of trying to create a spike of charm or intensity. Afterward, you don't rush intimacy or force momentum. You let patterns form. When you see someone again, you greet them calmly. "Hey, good to see you again." And if you don't see them again, you don't decide that something is wrong with you. Darcy didn't fix his reputation in one moment. He allowed time and repeated behavior to confirm who he was. Your parallel is understanding that respect is built the same way in real life, through calm, repetition, and reliability. Mr. Darcy was never broken. He was a quiet man who had to learn how to show up, how to close moments cleanly, and how to stop punishing himself afterwards. I've seen this lesson change men's lives over and over again because it is simple and humane. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to be smoother. You don't need to perform. You need to enter calmly, exit clearly, and trust that consistency will do the work. That's Darcy's real lesson. Welcome to Good Men Explained. This channel exists to give you steady, usable steps forward. If learning from characters like Mr. Darcy helps you feel less stuck and more confident being yourself, then stick around and let me help you find your footing.